Oh, fuck.
Hey, Earl. Welcome back to We Watch Movie. I'm Mike. He's Jay.
Thanks, Bert.
If you guys subscribe to our Patreon, which I've got a link for below, there's a tier called the $25 Immortality is Yours. Take it! Package where you can request us to review a movie and we'll do it for you. A fine son of a bitch named Sean Davis asked us to review Tremors, and I know you guys are going to be fucking psyched about that, so thanks Sean Davis below, and I thank you Sean Davis.
I do too. I had a good time watching this movie, much like I don't have in a sex life because I can't get sometimes.
It's hard for him to have sex with ladies.
But anyway, guess what? Tremors was a fan favorite of mine back in the day. I used to rent the shit out of that. So when I heard that Tremors was a request that you had, I felt very nice and wanted to be your friend and buy you a Coca-Cola underneath a teepee hut. Thank you so much for requesting it, Sean Davis.
Don't do it, guys. I've been there. I've seen what he does to people.
What have you been there? By the way, good news. Mike found out he was adopted.
If you see Jay holding a Coca-Cola bottle and smiling, you fucking run the other direction. I promise you it's not going to end well for you or the kids at St. Joseph's
The
Hospital.
other direction. Tremors. It's basically it's
a butt-fucking prodigy.
They're butt-fucking people. Tremors is about a bunch of... There's two guys mainly that it focuses on. Earl and Valentine, which is played by Kevin Bacon, who is the big name in this movie. They're bumpkins from Nevada, and they do like handyman shit, and they're like done with this place called Perfection. This place sucks asshole. It's the butt stain in Nevada, and they want to leave this butt stain and go to a nicer butt stain, which would be Bixby, Oklahoma. And I had to look that up because I forgot where Bixby was.
I assumed it was Texas the whole goddamn time.
You fucking dumb shit. So anyway, in the midst of all this, you know, they're deciding that, hey, I'm not gonna like scrape dog shit off the back of a garbage truck anymore ever again. I'm not gonna be a handyman, Earl. I'm done. They get confronted by these sandworms that look like dirty butt turds that are like roam through the desert.
They look like dicks.
Really?
Yeah, they look like dicks.
I just thought of them as turds, but I mean, if you want to focus on the penis, that's fine. The thing about it is, it's a throwback. Is it horror? I wouldn't consider it horror, even though when I was younger, it was put in the horror category. It's more of a monster movie with comedy effects in it.
But monster movies are horror movies, so
that's weird. Because I would never think Godzilla. I would never think Godzilla is fucking is horror. But either way, okay, fine. If it's a horror movie, it's a horror movie, and thank you for requesting it because it falls right in line with what we do here.
I fucking adore this movie from head to fucking toe, man. I love it because you love everybody in the movie. Everybody in the town of this little Perfection, Nevada. There's 14 people that live in the town. Mm-hmm. It's out in the middle of fucking nowhere. And I said Nevada.
It's Nevada.
It is Nevada.
Yeah.
Why'd you say Oklahoma?
I said, oh, they want to go to Bixby, Oklahoma. You stupid fuckbins.
I don't know geography very well. No, the best thing about the movie is that you love everybody.
Even like Reba McEntire was in this, and Reba McEntire did a good job. I mean, maybe she wrote a fucking song about it and put it on Dollywood. Who knows?
And then you got Michael Gross who plays Bert, and him and Reba are married together, and they're those classic like doomsday preppers. Like,
do you not think
they have TV shows about them?
Do you not think that watching the movie afterwards though, like they would actually get married in real life? Because they seemed like a perfect fit.
That would have been awesome.
Yeah, they actually seemed it.
Because she has a lot of fucking money.
Our own Overboard.
But this is the movie. Like this movie, to me, it's underrated. Even
it's a great movie.
And you know what? It didn't do that good theatrically. But as most of the best movies that came out during the 90s did, when it went to video, because video was fucking huge back then, it did really fucking well and became a cult classic.
Back when HBO was one channel, not 19,000, I mean, when you were done watching Real Sex, Tremors might come on, you know? Because I think Tremors got its, like you said, its audience from like home video and like, primetime cable, meaning pay cable, like HBO or something. Because I think I watched Tremors the first time. It was probably on HBO. We had the HBO channel, and I think I watched it on HBO, and then later on rented it. And the thing about this movie is that, yeah, you're right.
It's all bubble case VHSs.
I loved it. It's underappreciated as fuck. And not to mention the fact that we didn't mention the guy, because he's also amazing, is Victor Wong playing Walter Chang. I mean, you got Big Trouble in Little fucking China, my man, in this shit, and he's like a sleazy kind of dealer, and he was like, he's like, I'll pay you $15 for that fucking snake. And they're like, $15? Because, no, he says 10, he's like, 20. He's like, $15. team.
What I love about it though is that he's this sleazy guy, and it's the same way with everyone. They're a microcosm of this person because they're all in this shitty little middle of nowhere fucking place.
Some of them love it, some of them hate it.
All the characters are so good, and you like all the characters. There was actually supposed to be this angry old lady that everybody hated planted in the film, but for whatever reason she wasn't there. But everyone in the movie, even the fucking little asshole kid who came straight off of Little House on the Prairie, like you loved everyone in the film.
Melvin just felt
so
like
well.
Melvin felt like a stand-in for Corey Feldman or something. Like he almost could be, because this movie came out in 1990, so it was on that baseline of almost 80s.
Yeah.
And if you thrown Feldman in there, it would have been perfect. But yeah, Melvin was. I like Melvin because it just felt like 90s. It really felt like the embodiment of the 90s kid.
He felt like what we would have been if we were in that situation. Because the little boy's like, eat it, okay? Just fucking eat it. When he's sitting on the roof, and I love the part when he comes out and he tries to fake him out because he has the worm on his neck. He's like, ah! And Bert gets all serious.
Impressive.
He was like, you came this close.
No, yeah,
This close.
and then
Too close.
And then Earl's like, Melvin, God damn it, somebody's gonna kick your ass one day. And he's like, it was just a joke. Like you can see that in his life.
Earl, Fred Ward in this movie, dude, he looks like John Bernthal as a more like.
He does. I thought about he did look like John Bernthal. He has this badass, like kind of reserved. He's kind of he's a lovable.
He's
idiot.
older and wiser.
He's a lovable idiot in some ways, because it seems like Kevin Bacon in some ways. Valentine's a little smarter in like things like seismology and stuff when they meet Rhonda, and her name's fucking Rhonda, by the way. But when they meet, she knows. He's like, what the fuck? He's like, you can see it. Look, he's like, what the fuck is seismology? Like, he was like, oh, you that geology chick. And he's like, no, not,
I think that was actually
geology.
play. Actually, I think that Earl knew what he was talking about, but Kevin Bacon was trying to look smart, even though he was actually the dumb one. He was like, seismology.
I feel like him and Valentine were like older brother and younger brother kind of thing, and he was trying to set up Valentine to get a girl. Like he was like, you running around trying to get, because if they consider of it, there is kind of a romance subplot, because he's like, you're just running around like, if this girl doesn't meet this ridiculous list for you, big boobs, green eyes,
world-class breasts and legs that go all the way up.
Yeah, and
how the fuck, by the way, do legs go all the way up?
All the way up
what
to
is
the gene, the temple.
I mean, don't they all?
No. Well, they go all the way up.
They all do.
I think he meant long legs.
I don't know.
He likes them.
That's
long
what he
legs.
meant, but
he likes them chopsticks.
It reminds me of True Romance with Christian Slater. He's like, do I look like a blonde, big tits, tastes like vanilla ice cream? He's like, no. He's like, why are you trying to fuck me?
Well, because you look sexual. So
I say that once a week at work.
But yeah, I did like again. I mean, we were talking about their chemistry and what they were doing, and that was great. And the girl that played Rhonda, she was good too. Like she like there was no like situation in this movie that I ever felt like I didn't hate any of the characters.
Everyone.
And yeah, there wasn't like a lot of development. Like we didn't go deep, with certain histories and things like that. But you didn't need to. It was so fun. It was so energetic. It was so kinetic. The way that the movie flowed, I didn't need to have all that extra bullshit going on. It just flowed the right way with a monster movie, and all you gotta know is these big sand turds are trying to kill you, and you gotta get away from them, and noise attracts them.
But they painted it so well.
Like
it was so simple. it didn't take itself too seriously. It was just fun. It was what fucking was. The monster effect, like to me, I'm just gonna say it. That's my dick.
Ooh.
That's my dick.
I knew it was fucking moldy.
That's my dick.
Oh, yeah, it's got pimples.
I made eggs this morning.
Oh, good.
Over easy.
That's what happened.
To me, this is better than Jaws. I prefer fucking Jaws. I just do. To me, this movie is it's dude. There's nothing. I can't.
Salt?
Tell me something. Just tell me what's wrong with it. Like, why can't it be better than Jaws? Like, it's fucking easy to watch. It's entertaining from the second it starts to the second it ends. It's more fun than Jaws is. There's nothing wrong with the monster effects, the practical effects, the way they made the worms look, the fucking name they gave them, Graboids, the reason they became across their name. This movie is, and I know people say it's crazy because everybody loves Tremors, but it's fucking underrated because it should be right up there with Jaws, and it's not. By the way, quick shout out to fucking, I want to say Breakfast Club, I don't know why. But Brokeback Mountain. Did you think of Brokeback Mountain when you were watching this?
No.
It's two cowboys.
I didn't think about it.
Out in a field,
I didn't really.
watching cows and
a
making beans. And that's what they did in Brokeback Mountain.
First off, in Brokeback Mountain, they were fucking cold. And they needed a dick in the butt to stay warm. This was not happening. They was in the desert.
I'm just saying.
It was in the desert. It was in the desert.
Like, listen, dude, they didn't butt fuck just because they were cold, okay? There was more to it.
Well, they wanted to cuddle because they were warm. They were cold. That led to fucking.
There's two different.
And drinking.
It all depends on what kind of man you are. When someone sets a script down in front of you and it starts out two grown men watching cows, eating beans in a desert or the mountains. or the Brokeback Mountain.
I don't.
Where are you gonna go from here? One guy says my cowboy's gonna fuck, and the other one goes, "Mom's gonna chase away from giant worms."
You have smoked yourself for
And both are good movies, so it worked out for everyone.
You can go with that direction if you
What's
want to.
What's the third movie about cowboys in the middle of nowhere eating beans gonna be about?
Why
I don't even fucking know. Cloverfield 3.
They fucking, you know what? They both wore tight Wrangler jeans and looked at each other sometimes like they were friends. But they were friends. Like, they were fucking friends. They were bro dudes.
I'm
like,
not trying to say they were fucking.
No, but you were saying that you can compare it to a movie.
That's the Tremors sequel we should have seen.
No, it's not.
Why not?
Because they were just friends. So anyhow, what the fuck just happened?
That's the problem, Valentine. You never look ahead.
Why did you go that deep? Then you just ruined Earl. So, good God. Yeah, fuck, I don't even want to talk about it anymore. No, look, at the end of the day, it's a great monster movie. It's a great flick. It's got good energy. It's got good cinematography. The monsters themselves look good.
Amazing.
They look good. Yeah, do they look like big turds or penises like you think?
They do look like penises.
Well,
they're very fat.
You're focused on this whole homosexual penis thing.
It's not about the butt fucking.
You're not Fred Ward and fucking Kevin Bacon should have got it on. But anyway, either way, it's still a great cowboy versus the monsters, and at the end of the day, the cowboys win out, and it's just this cool thing where you get a community together that. You know, I always loved it when I was a kid watching them when they got the bulldozer and they all like loaded in and they're like, fuck these motherfuckers, they can't take this shit down. I always loved that part. Because I used to have these exo squad things and you put them in like the little machines and like nothing could touch me. Like I thought that was cool. But, and you know, unfortunately, you know, this is spoilers, so whatever, it doesn't really matter. Walt Chang dies, and I think they could have got more out of Victor Wong, because Victor Wong is an amazing actor as well. I loved him in Big Trouble in Little China. He's always got this presence about him when he's in a movie, whether or not he's playing a doofus or some kind of doofus with a secret. He always plays a doofus at first, and then he has like some ancient Chinese shit that pass on to you and make you fucking Raiden. I don't know, and I feel like he grounds the movie sometimes, like even with his like sneaky salesman ways, he's always got like a presence about him, and I wish that he had stayed in along. I even liked the guy, and he didn't have very many lines or parts, but Miguel was the one that came up with the idea to run the fucking, you know, tractor across the fucking thing to distract this thing, because this thing is off vibrations in the ground. Again, I don't want to see this movie ever remade. Like, it's just perfect the way it is. It's set in the right time. Yes, it was released in the wrong time because it didn't get the recognition that it deserved, but it's right for the time that it was shot, and I don't. If you take that out of it and you try to remake it, I think you lose something, because you know what they're going to do is they're going to CG the fuck out of it, and they're probably going to make it super uber horror.
No way.
And I'm not scared. I don't live in a fucking desert. I don't live in a desert. It's not scary to me.
It doesn't need a remake. It doesn't need to be touched at all. I totally agree with that.
We talked about this off camera a little bit, but I'll bring it in this really quick to full circle it. Kevin Bacon didn't do jack shit after fucking Footloose. Like, this was his big movie, really, after Footloose as a main character. Because in 1984, when Footloose came out, he was the big guy or whatever. He was the main, you know, introducing kind of Kevin Bacon. I mean, even though he was in Animal House. But then you go, you know, you wait 6 years in 1990, then he's co-starring alongside Fred Ward. And Mike said, I didn't know this, but apparently Kevin Bacon was really ashamed of this fucking movie. Like, he didn't like the fact that he was in this movie.
It was before it came out, but before the movie came out, he apparently broke down on the sidewalk in front of his pregnant wife and was like, I can't believe I'm making a movie about worms in the ground. But
well, thank God they didn't come out your butt.
But didn't mean they continuously thought that. But
I think the problem is that back in 1984 with Kevin Bacon, when he came on the scene as like the guy that he was and the way that they portrayed him in that movie, he was like the fresh-faced kind of cutesy boy, and I think that the reason why a lot of studios passed on him, even though he was a great acting talent, was because he presented him, or not that he presented himself, but he was presented to the world as that cutie boy. And they're like, no, fuck that. That motherfucker, oh, the guy that danced and shit, fuck that shit. We don't have no dancing movies. We have no dancing movies. We're doing a serious crime drama, so take your fucking tapping shoes and tap on down the street. And he was like, fuck, really? Goddamn, this town needs music. Like, and so I think for me personally, I think this is what made Kevin Bacon. I like Kevin Bacon in Footloose. I thought he was cool in that too. But I thought this made him badass.
Gave him the range.
I think he did a great job. He was like, you know, especially when the first time they outsmart the Tremor monster, the Graboid, and it goes through like the Hoover Dam fucking concrete. He's like, fuck you. I'm like, yeah.
I was just thinking about that scene. Like, I love that fucking scene. You were talking about Victor Wong earlier. I love his character, and I also love the fact that I love horror movies that take place in a convenience/grocery store. The Mist, this, the whole scene, like, and the effects look fucking bad.
It's very contained.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, and when they get on the roof and like the roof starts breaking, like it looks realistic, man. Like everything's done so well.
That's your contractor's fault.
That's why I give it a 10, man. There's just nothing wrong with it. The characters are all fucking awesome.
The more I talk about, I'm gonna go with 10.
See?
I'm gonna go with 10.
I'm gonna go with 10. The practical effects, the monster looked amazing. It had a cool history to it. They talked about like why they named it what it was.
And I'm gonna point out the fact that Fred Ward, and I've already said it once before, Fred Ward and Kevin Bacon, their brotherhood kind of thing going on. Like even I mean it was obviously in the script, but it just felt so natural when they were gonna make a decision and they would do like the paper rock scissors kind of thing to make that decision. Yeah. That felt really fucking cool to me. I don't know why I always thought that was cool. Like I tried to implement that in my real life and nobody understood what I was doing. Like they thought I was gonna fight them when I went like this, and I was like, I don't want to fight you because I don't know.
That's how Jay ended up jerking off a lot of people.
Yeah, I did, and they did that, and then I realized that I'm not at Mike's house, and I shouldn't do that because Mike's not doing it for me. So anyway, but that those kind of scenes like that, and then Earl trying to set up his friend Valentine with like because it kind of reminded me of Mike and I's friendship sometimes. Like two cool guys that are just hanging. I mean, I'm considering this
awesome,
cool.
sexy,
we're not really
good looking, muscular.
We're fucked up a little bit.
Good with the ladies.
Oh shit. Okay, you're just throwing out dicks right there and
like
saying, hey, look, sparkles.
Just two guys.
But we're hanging out or whatever, and one of us is trying to convince the other one why we should do what we should do, because, like, this is good for you, man. This isn't a bad thing. Like, just because they don't fit your fucking little critique level, you're stupid if you don't jump on it. And you're like, I think you're dumb. And it's like, well, I think you're fucking... Like, they had this brother thing going on, and I like the shit out of that. And then, it's such a great movie, and it's shot so. And if no one's ever seen this movie, if this never come across your queue to watch, please do yourself a favor and fucking watch this movie. Thank you, Sean, so much for requesting this movie, because Mike and I probably maybe forgot about it, because Tremors is such a great fucking movie, and it's something that you kind of miss because it's not talked about a lot. And thanks, man. Like that, I cannot thank you enough as a great Patreon. Suck the nipple. You did a great job.
Very good, John Davis. Very good, John Davis. Very good. That went to, I didn't mean it to go Loomis, but sometimes you just didn't.
Yeah, sometimes it just gets there.
But that brings up a good question of the day. Who do you guys like more? You pick one. Do you like Valentine or Earl more?
Well, it depends on what you like.
Most people I think would automatically go, it's Kevin fucking Bacon. I like Earl better.
Earl's got some good shit, man. Earl's got that fucking Burt Reynolds shit going on. He's got that cool factor. He don't need to fucking impress anybody.
And they don't need to have great big speeches and crazy shit and have anything serious moments, nothing like that. You've got these little funny moments in the movie, like when one of them had to go get the cat. And they're arguing about who's going to go get it, because neither one of them wants the other one to be in danger, so they're fighting about who's going to go, and that just speaks to like their characters and their friendship and all that stuff like that. It's just this movie. There was fucking rated.
There was even a small moment, and I just thought it was funny, is when he's not really shown in the movie or whatever, but when the first time they realize that something really bad is going on, when they run across Edgar's fucking bullshit up on the electric wires and shit, he was like, oh fuck, it's Edgar. He's like, there's a part where he was like, well, shit. It's like, well, we gotta go get Edgar down, and they do they do the paper, rock, scissors. Kevin Bacon loses, and he's like, thank you, Edgar. He was like, it's just, but Fred Ward as Earl is so cool, because, like, again, he's not trying to get the girl, he's not trying to compete with his friend, he's like, I don't need that shit. I mean, maybe something happened back before.
I wanted that. I wanted the same thing, because he wasn't trying at all. But at first, when they first had the conversation, because Kevin Bacon's like, it's supposed to be a girl. And he veers over, and that's when he wants to be blonde and shit like that. But he pulls up, and when she's not what he expected, he was just kind of a dick to her. And Earl's being nice, that he was talking, and it seemed like Earl and her had the connection.
I think that Earl and him did, but I think Earl was a great wingman. I think Earl was setting Kevin Bacon up.
He was almost too much of a wingman, but you wonder if maybe he had a wife in the past.
Yeah, I think that's why. I think there was a tragic story.
Because he wasn't too old to try, but he never even tried.
We never watched Tremors. I've seen Tremors too. It was a long time ago. I don't remember if they explore Earl's backstory. Again, you don't want to go too deep with that shit, because I don't want it to be some kind of movie about that. But nonetheless, Earl's just like, he's a man's man, dude. Like, I mean, he looks out for his friends. He's a cool guy. He looks out for the town. He's just generally a good guy. And he's trying to set his friend up. And there's one part when, like, Kevin Bacon is dabbing her legs, and he's like sitting smoking a cigarette. He's like, I know what you gonna do. And then, like, dude, it's great. I mean, it's a great fucking movie. Scene to scene, you'll love it. And you'll love the characters, you'll fall in love with it. You'll love the practical effects. You'll love the slight bits of horror that do happen. it's few and far between, but it's cool.
Survival horror way better than anything The Walking Dead offers.
It's got it. Ooh,
I just said it.
Sons of bitch.
I said it.
Lucille's gonna bash your fucking brains in. But look, you know,
puts it in.
Right now, I think they made a Tremors TV show, and I think it died pretty quickly.
They did.
But, you know, either way, what they had here was special. It's a very special combination of components that make a movie really, really good and lasting.
And they did it self-seriously.
Yeah, they had everything available to them, and they did it well. And at the end of the day, I guess I'm going to give it a 10. I gave it a 9.5 starting, but the more I talk about it, the more I remember it, the more I enjoy it. It's a 10. I mean, and it's one of those movies you got to recommend to any fan of monster movies or horror itself.
And also, don't speak unless you agree with me. But do you guys also think this is better than Jaws? I know,
definitely speak if you don't agree.
I know a lot of you don't agree with me, but just don't say anything.
Put down in the comments like you're a fucking shithead.
Just shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up.
Just shut your mouth.
Quick, tiny. I have to mention this before we go. I fucking love this.
You're gay.
Yeah. Okay.
You always say it to me. I still with you.
When they pull up to the construction site and they're talking, and he runs up to the construction, and Earl's like, "Hey, this guy here cutting fucking people's heads off. I'm serious." And then he drives away. The construction worker who has like poop on his mouth. He has poop.
I think it's dirt.
Yeah, but it looks like poop. And he goes. That guy's just pulling her leg, and the other dude just standing there. He goes, "Yeah." So I don't know why it's the weirdest like one word performance I've ever seen.
It was good though.
I fucking love that guy.
It expressed the shit out of all you needed to know.
Yeah. I just think that this movie it's really modest, and I think it's because it's so modest that people don't give it the credit it deserves. I think it's I think it's a classic.
I'd say you're 1,000% right there, Fred. So yeah, at the end of the day, thank you, Sean, again for requesting this.
We love your fucking faces. If you're new to the channel, click that subscribe button and get some goddamn wham.
He got that demon in him. Hey, got that demon in him. Look at his fucking hair. Look like Christopher Walken. Fucking got shocked by an electric cord.
I can't afford a haircut.
Goddamn wrong rec room, huh?
Can't afford a haircut.
We watched a movie. Yeah. We watched a movie. We watched it. We watched a movie. Yeah. You know what? We did a review. We watched a movie. We watched a movie.